How to convert an audio cassette into MP3 format. This page will introduce you to the process of converting the tracks on an audio cassette tape into MP3 format. I first start off by explaining what hardware, cables, and other accessories are required for successful conversion process. Gather your hardware and cables. Here is a checklist to confirm that you have the necessary cables and accessories to start a conversion process. You will need the following items: dual channel stereo Y adapter, approximate retail cost $7.99. Y adapter, approximate retail cost $7.99. 2 RCA male/2 RCA male, audio cable, approximate retail cost $7.99. USB record player. Plays 33/45 RPM records, approximate retail cost $39.99. Cassette player, approximate retail cost varies based on product. 3.5mm male mini plug to 2 RCA stereo audio cable. This cable connects your audio source to your computer, approximate retail cost $7.99. How to set up devices and connect cables. 1. The first step is to decide the type of source you are going to use to play the music. This source type can be a tape deck, a boombox, a record player, or any other device that has a cassette player, as well as any other source equipped with the connector labeled line out or speaker out. For the purpose of this tutorial, you can label your audio source as output 1 and your sound card's lining connector as input 1. 2. Identify line out connector on a computer sound card. Your sound card's lining connector is normally a blue connector on the sound card itself, situated on the back of your computer. Some lining connectors might be black colored, but generally is always in the middle of all other connectors. 3. Connect one end of the 3.5mm audio cable from output 1 on the device, cassette deck, tape player, boombox, etc., and the other end connects to input 1 on the computer sound card. Use the 3.5mm male mini plug to 2 RCA stereo audio cable to connect your audio source to the personal computer. Connect the left and right audio connectors on the cable to the left and right channels on the device. The other end connects to your computer sound card line-in port. 4. Once you connected your audio source to the computer sound card, you'll need to test the connection to see if the audio is traveling through the cable into your computer. Here's another image depicting how to hook up your audio source to the computer. Summary of connections. 1. Connect your audio cable from the cassette deck or record player. This connector can be the headphones connector or the line out connector. 2. Connect your audio cable to the computer's lining connector. 3. Connect the audio cable to the computer's mic connector, if lining connector is already occupied. Do the sound test. One of the best ways of testing this process is to use the Windows volume control utility, also known as the mixer. This is a small accessory usually bundled in all versions of Windows. Follow the steps below to access the volume control program in Windows XP. 1. On the Windows taskbar, find the speaker icon normally located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen beside the time and date function. 2. Right-click the speaker icon. After a short delay, a pop-up menu will appear. Left-click the Open Volume Control item. This will load the volume mixer. Enable speaker icon in Windows System Tray. If this icon is not visible, you will need to go through the next steps in order to show the speaker icon in the Windows taskbar. 1. Left-click Start. 2. Left-click Control Panel. 3. In the Windows Control Panel, left-click the Sounds and Audio Devices function. 4. Under the label Device Volume label, left-click the box Place Volume icon in the taskbar. 5. Left-click the OK button to close the window. The speaker icon should now be visible in the Windows taskbar. 6. Right-click the speaker volume. 7. From the pop-up menu that appears, left-click the Open Volume Control item. This will load the Windows mixer. The instructions in the subsequent section will allow you to test your audio connection between your audio source and the computer. To test the connection between your audio source and the computer, follow these instructions. 1. Ensure the mute box has no checkmark in it. 2. To adjust the volume level of your PC, use the scroll bar. To increase the loudness, drag the slider up. To decrease the loudness, drag the slider down. 3. To adjust the volume balance of your PC, use the scroll bar. To have all sounds playback through the speaker situated on the left-hand side, drag the slider left. To have all sounds playback through the speaker situation on the right-hand side, drag the slider to the right accordingly. At this point, if your audio source is hooked up to the PC properly, all you need to do is press the play button on your audio source. If you hear music, then more than likely your volume settings are correct. You can customize the volume based on your own needs and preferences at any time during the audio encoding process. Download and install software to record audio files into the computer. There are a variety of software applications available that can record and encode audio. The one that I will make reference to is called WinADR. It is one of the easiest to use sound recording tools, extremely versatile, and available for a free 30-day trial. Click here to download and install the software. After installation, click the shortcut on your Windows desktop to start the program. To test the connection between your audio source and the computer, follow these instructions. 1. Ensure the mute box has no checkmark in it. 2. To adjust the volume level of your PC, use the scroll bar. To increase the loudness, drag the slider up. To decrease the loudness, drag the slider down. 3. To adjust the volume balance of your PC, use the scroll bar. To have all sounds playback through the speaker situated on the left-hand side, drag the slider left. To have all sounds playback through the speaker situation on the right-hand side, drag the slider to the right accordingly. At this point, if your audio source is hooked up to the PC properly, all you need to do is press the play button on your audio source. If you hear music, then more than likely your volume settings are correct. You can customize the volume based on your own needs and preferences at any time during the audio encoding process. The next step is to decide the kind of compression you would like to use when you rip or encode your audio. Although you can store in compressed files and not have to worry about compression, this technique tends to eat up a fair amount of disk space and is very unnecessary if you have a basic understanding of how the MP3, MPEG Layer 3, audio compression codec works. This section will explain how to configure the MP3 options in the WinADR program. The first step to configuring the MP3 options in WINADR is to access the control window that has the options to be configured. If it is not already running, open the WINADR application. 1. Left-click the Options menu. 2. Left-click the option MP3 format so it shows a checkmark next to the item. Left-click Options again to open the main configuration window. This is shown in Figure 1.9 in the next section. This section will explain how to configure the MP3 specific attributes for the encoding process. 1. Left-click the Browse button to select a folder where you would like to store your encoded files. Choose a folder on the subsequent window and left-click OK to finalize the changes and return to the main configuration window. 2. The time limitation option will instruct WINADR to stop recording automatically after a set period of time. This is useful if you need to leave your workstation for a period of time while recording is being done. To enable this feature, left-click the Enable Recording Time Limitation checkbox and set the value in hours and minutes. 3. The auto-split into files every option will instruct WINADR to split your recordings into different files based on the amount of time specified in these values. 4. The MP3 settings options allow you to set specific values for the encoding process which affect the quality of your output. Standard settings for recording MP3 audio are listed below. Channel mode, stereo. Sample rate, 440-100 Hz. Quality, 3. Bitrate, 128 kbps. Anything higher than this value is overkill. 5. You can also configure the way the MP3 processing encodes. There really is no difference between the three modes, but you should experiment with all three to find the one that works best for your recordings. Final words. If you are fairly knowledgeable with how the entire recording process works, you can instruct the WINADR software to actually record track after track, so you don't have to sit at your computer waiting for one track to end and another to begin. You simply let the entire tape play. However, this requires a fair bit of knowledge about the ripping techniques used by this software. If you are just starting out into this process, it's much easier for you to rip one audio track at a time just until you get used to the whole process. Once you learn the basics, ripping all the tracks off an audio track at one time is as simple as customizing the software. The next step is for you to actually record an audio file. Close the Options window. You should have a Record button on the WINADR interface. Before you press it, you'll have to ensure your audio source is powered on and ready to go. All you need to do at this point is press play on your audio source, and when the music starts playing, press the Record button on the WINADR interface.